What's going on? We're back. Started off in a good new year, man. I'm getting everything rounded up. I'm gonna go sit at a Starbucks and get some work done for a little bit. I've got to start mapping my day out accordingly for a lot of things that are going on this year. And that is what we're gonna do. We are gonna get that done. So generally what I do is I've got one cool bag here, and my mobile setup is generally a great set of Bayer Dynamic DT770 headphones. These things are great, man. I just kind of switch between these and my inner ears, and I do that for a reason of for the reason of trying to, use different references. And I'll tell you, one little tip is when you're mixing, and believe you me, I'm not like Chris Lord Algae or Bob Rock or somebody, but when you're mixing, the cool thing is what you're trying to achieve, excuse me if I can talk correctly, what we're trying to achieve here is real world audio. And what better to mix into things like Bose headphones or speakers or these Beats headphones, whatever you call them, consumer audio. I've said it before, but Chris Lord Algae is one of the biggest mixing engineers in the world. Go watch on YouTube. He mixes into a Sony analog jam box, an old Sony jam box. It's analog. And his theory, and he's exactly right, is if it sounds good in this thing, it's going to sound good anywhere. And he's right. He isn't wrong, my friends. I promise you that. And people can argue all day long, but I promise you, it's more true than you'll ever know. Guarantee you that. So I got my hard drive. A lot of these big libraries from this point forward I have to put on here, my samples, and running out of hard drive space on this MacBook Pro. You think 2 terabyte was enough? No, never. With all the stuff I'm running, it's crazy. It really is. Good Lord. Let me put that over there real quick. And I got my CME X Keys keyboard. Love this thing. I did, however, I just ordered an Akai Mini MPK, one of those little. And the only reason I did that, I'll have it here. Probably won't. Then again, it's small enough to put in my bag. And it all depends on what I'm doing. I did it for the sake of, I need a mod wheel, but it's actually kind of like a joystick. Hopefully it'll work, or it's going back if it doesn't. And I'll just have to get something a bit bigger that has an actual mod wheel that I can work with, and it'll just stay here in the RV or somewhere stationary, because that won't fit in my bag, my friends. That it won't. So, and then I've got my iLock key and stuff. Like I say, usually I'm hitting the Starbucks, the headphones are the gist of it. And a lot of times I'm at Starbucks, I'm not using my guitars or anything, and people are like, don't you want an interface, for like a headphones amp? I can plug directly into my laptop and use that output, and it's loud enough. I mean, you're not needing to blast your ears out. If you're not plugging guitars and you're doing everything internal at a given point, you really don't need your sound interface. But that's preference. That's up to you. It's not that one is better than the other. You get all these people saying, oh, that's just, you'll never get a great quality recording if you don't use a sound interface. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. Again, like what I just referred to was referring to real world audio. Hell, a lot of people will plug in straight into their devices to listen to this music. And what a lot of people don't realize due to rates of compression is that in your DAW, it's going to sound differently as if you put it on your computer or on a device. That's when you get it out of that DAW and render everything and start listening to it in your car or on your computer or your iPod or iPhone, you're going to hear the mix better, and you're going to hear what you've missed with that much more fluently than in the DAW, because it's different compression rates and different things. I mean, it's not a bad thing at all. It's not that there's anything wrong with your DAW or anything that you're doing. Every mix engineer has to have reference speakers to put their mixes in to listen to, and different techniques. Everybody has their own technique because your ears are different. Your instincts are different. Chris Lord Algae said it best. I can teach you technique, but I can't teach you instinct. A lot of truth to that, my friends. A lot of truth to that stuff. So And last but not least, my good old MacBook Pro that I don't even want to begin to tell you what I paid for this thing. I swear I paid too much money for it. Scary. It'll be a long time, by the way, before I can buy another computer for what I paid for this. However, you never know. I said I wouldn't buy another cell phone for a while either because it was no point in doing it. But when I realized just what the quality of the video and what I'm able to do with my cell phone now, it's unbelievable. I don't regret it. The only reason I got it is because I got a hell of a deal on it through Apple. And sometimes that happens. I think I've got everything. But anyway, I just want to get on here and rap a moment. And, you know, I got a lot going on. As I said, I'm going to do an album this year, but I'm working on doing I got to do some rock cues. It's that time of the year where a lot of like Super Bowls coming up. You never know. You know, some of this stuff, I've had a lot of sporting events with the rock stuff placed, ton of it. It's been big this year, for 2019, about 2020, but you never know. I know a guy, he and I work, we've talked on several points and from different avenues of the business, but back in September in his royalty statement, he got a Super Bowl placement, man, and you're talking about a 1.5-minute rock track and they used 17 seconds of it, and freaking he got paid $12,000 for that. I mean, that's unbelievable, just for that one. So, yeah, it is possible. And that's what I always say. You got to find the right publishers that are placing that music. And that's he and I work with that same publisher. And it's underscoring rock for those guys. So, you know, each year, being a rock player, I've got to represent. I got to try to get some rock in the mix. So I've got some stuff I've laid down. I need to go work with, do some drum work. So no better place than the Starbucks. I don't know why. I just like sometimes being around certain places or different places to work. I'm productive if I'm not just sitting in here all the time. And it's weird. That's another thing that kind of helps you if you're having trouble with productivity. Go to different places and sit down and do some work and see how productive it makes you. It really does help me tremendously to be productive at a Starbucks. And not to mention that their Wi-Fi, I didn't know was all that good. I mean, Starbucks as a whole, I don't strive to say I've got to go to Starbucks and get a coffee every day, but I've also said in the past that it's disrespectful if you go into these Starbucks or anything and you use their Wi-Fi and you don't at least buy a cup of coffee because you're using their Wi-Fi. Buy a cup of coffee or do something. I don't care if you buy a sausage biscuit or something. Do it. It's just disrespectful. And people have their opinions about Starbucks and the corporate, but you don't realize that most all these Starbucks are independently owned. It's like a local business. There are local people that own them. You know, and it's kind of a disrespect to them if you just go in there every day and use their Wi-Fi and you don't buy anything from them. So it's very important. So, yeah, in my travels over the last summer, Starbucks was a big help. There was one coffee shop in Billings, Montana, I think it was. I can't remember the name of it. Their Wi-Fi was killer, too. The coffee was better than Starbucks, but that's a whole different conversation later. I'm not a big coffee snob. I just like coffee. To me, I think coffee is coffee. And I think tea is tea. And speaking of freaking tea, where's my damn tea? Oh! You'd think I was British with the amount of tea that I drink. And it's hot tea. And I love it. Gotta have a little bit of my caffeine. Not to mention these days, I can't put as much sugar in. I can't put sugar at all in this like I could years ago. I drank sweet tea like it was going out of style, and it ain't good for you as good as it is. So it's stevia, and it's not a bad thing. Stevia is some good stuff. If you haven't ever tried stevia, it takes you a moment to get used to how many drops. Cup this size, about 4 or 5 drops of it. I get a little bottle, and it lasts me 2 or 3 months. It's really cool. In fact, hang on one second. And shit, I didn't even get on to talk about that. But why not, since I'm talking about it? Sometimes they use the powder, which is cool. They have this company called Better. Yeah, shit, I'm gonna drop it. Called Better Stevia. There it is, right there. Organic. Now, I'm not one of these weird organic freaks, but the cool thing about this is, what a lot of people don't understand is that Splenda's cool in a pitch, but it's not good for you. It's not safe. Splenda plays hell with your body. your digestive system and everything. It's really not safe. None of those artificial sweeteners are good. The thing about stevia is it comes from a stevia plant. It's all natural. It is stevia. It is what it is. It's exactly what it says. I get this on Amazon because I know. However, I do have some that I get at Walmart. Walmart carries now that doesn't have the additives that Splenda or anything does it. It's stevia. I just don't know what else they add to it. It's a little portable one that gets me through when I'm at a Starbucks somewhere, because I'm not lugging this damn thing around. It looks like cough syrup. See that bottle? Isn't that hilarious? It looks like cough syrup. But it's called Better Stevia Organic. You get on Amazon. And I can't remember what I paid for it. But you can comment down below if you're curious. If anybody cares to watch this video. Let me know, and I'll send a link to the item that I purchased. So really, it's not expensive. For 3 months, and I think it was like, they don't hold me to this, maybe $14 for the bottle. It's pretty cool. But anyway, your tea tastes great. It really does. Stevia is just not safe. And, you know, when I had to get off the sugar, I started with stevia with everything. With the not the stevia. Let's back up. Splenda is not safe. The whole Splenda thing. Before I knew about stevia, I had to get off the sugar and stuff. I started the whole Splenda thing, and Splenda's just not safe. And I started to feel real weird and things going on, and it was messing with me. And it was the Splenda, and it's just, if you overdo the Splenda, you'll start to realize, you start feeling bad and something's going on. You don't know what it is. Common sense told me, I picked up real quick. It was the Splenda, and I was taking too much of it in a day. It was not safe. But anyway, I'm babbling off topic, or hell, I don't even think I'm on topic today. I'm just kind of talking smack. It's just one of those days. Anyway, like I said before, I want to try to get on every day and babble a little bit. I'm going to keep you posted on my new RV build. That won't happen until I get this RV sold. The RV is on RV Trader, excuse me. It is for sale. If anybody's interested in that link, I will post the link to the sale below. In fact, I might post the link to it in this video. But my RV is for sale. And once we get that thing to its new owner, happy owner, we'll be off to the races, man. It'll be cool as hell. It'll be a great adventure. And I'll have to block time for that as well, in all that I have to do here musically and a lot of other things going on. So, but we will make it happen. Anyway, I got the jet. I'm heading to Starbucks to get some work done. And I was thinking about, I'm going to get on from time to time and just kind of, maybe I'll put a link to my Facebook music page. I'll get on from time to time, and I get on and work live a little bit. You can kind of watch me work and compose a little bit. I don't know when I'll do it next, but sometimes I do that. And it's really cool. I'll post some videos on here a little bit what I do, and I may get on and kind of talk about how I compose a little bit, structures of cues and things that I do for this, and that'll be kind of cool as well. So, but anyway, I'm out, man. Be cool. Gotta go get some work done.